My name is Aart Scholte. I'm a professor at the University of Gothenburg, as well as the University of Warwick in Sweden and the UK. I'm an external advisor on accountability to the IANA transition process, appointed as one of 7. The 7 external advisors are coming into ICANN somewhat from the outside, although several of us do have some previous experience with ICANN. But I think we're meant to bring some fresh blood and wider perspective into a process alongside the very detailed and expertise that comes within ICANN itself and its community. So we are not people who are following every single detail and every single nuance of every single proposal, but we kind of hover above, follow the processes, attend various meetings, comment on various drafts of papers as they're going along, and try to raise questions that might not be raised either at all or in different ways within the community itself. It's a process of building a different kind of global governance for the internet. So that raises a lot of challenges. Politically, because the multi-stakeholder model brings in these diverse interests and diverse constituencies, intellectual property lawyers, ISP, internet service providers, business users, non-commercial users, and the like, with governments in the room as well. So lots of different languages, different interests, all trying to negotiate together to come to an output. So it's politically a very complex process. It's legally a very complex process because we're not building here an international or global organization of the intergovernmental kind. So one can't just fall back on traditional international law. One has to, in a sense, build creative new law for new institutions. That's a major undertaking. And as a process of negotiation and consultation, it's technically even very, very complex. There are chat rooms virtually, there are remote audios, there are people coming from all corners of the planet into a face-to-face meeting, and all of these things are going on at the same time. So what I'm incredibly impressed by is the complexity of it all, and that the process has made as much progress as it has, given all of those complexities, is really quite remarkable. There does seem to be very good progress in terms of establishing the principles behind what is going on, the values, the commitments, the definitions of issues and so on. There's good progress there. There's very good progress in terms of identifying structural options and distinguishing clearly between them so that the choices become more and more clear. There's a number of pressures that say get a solution quickly, but on the other hand there are also a lot of pressures that say no, this is a major moment of transition, we really have to think this through carefully, we've got to get it right. And that pushes towards a longer timeline. So there's a real challenge of dealing with the political cycle on the one hand and the need to think things through on the other. There are 3 challenges here. One is to get the relationship between ICANN as organization and board on the one hand, and ICANN as multi-stakeholder community on the other, getting that relationship right. And they're working a lot on that one. There's also a challenge, though, of getting the ICANN community as represented in the multi-stakeholder forum and the global internet user community as it actually exists today and prospectively will exist tomorrow, to get a good alignment between those, so that the ICANN community as the multi-stakeholder mechanisms that are calling the corporation and the board to account, that looks enough like the wider internet world out there, and that match is not fully there. I think everyone agrees to that, but no one quite knows how to make it work. There's a related issue of making sure that accountability relations go in all directions. So there is the relationship of accountability of the board and company to the multi-stakeholder community. But that multi-stakeholder community, in turn, needs to have accountability relationships with that wider internet community. And how you get that done is difficult. We know that if we look at the future of the governance of global internet infrastructure, it can't be a unilateral one government is the backstop, as has been the case with the US NTIA situation up till now. That's not a way forward. By the same token, one looks at how the internet infrastructure works and one comes to the rapid conclusion that an intergovernmental organization is not the way forward either. So to that extent, we don't have a choice. We have to take this third road, but it's a third road of, call it multi-stakeholderism, call it hybrid governance, call it polycentrism. There are many names that you could give it. We've got to take that third road, but we have to figure out how it works.